So we all get into the point of sometimes being busy in our businesses and we don't do the work on the front end of that. And it's super important to do that. Plus, you'll be seeing what you're selling all the time, which is really cool. And you can make really cool financial decisions within your business, from a promoting standpoint to what you really love doing in your business and so forth. So spreadsheet is the best place to start with those things. As well as if you have a CRM, a time tracker, and listing out your expenses and so forth. So, which is really great because then you can run reports, which is really nice.
Talking with the Experts.
Hello and welcome to Talking with the Experts. My name's Rose Davidson from rosedavidson.com, and Talking with the Experts is about all things business by business owners for business owners, and you can catch it on all good podcasting streaming platforms and on YouTube. And today it's my very great pleasure to introduce you to Kelly Peck from Emerson Reese Creative, and we're going to be talking about how to effectively charge for your worth. Now, Kelly Peck is the owner of Emerson Reese Creative and is committed to helping event entrepreneurs create their own path in life by translating her experience into actionable strategies that turn ideas into profitable business. As a lifelong fixer, Kelly has solved countless problems, from helping businesses address budgeting oversights to launching her own business out of a need for more freedom. Her innovative way of thinking has driven not just herself, but those around her to strive for more and in turn reach their full potential. She serves her clients with empathy and understanding, having stood in their place, way back in the day. And she knows what it takes to feel exhausted and worry about whether a client had a great experience. Welcome, Kelly, and thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be here today.
And we were talking before we came on about the psychology behind a business's pricing. And I was saying that I work on an hourly rate, work out my hourly rate, and then work out how many hours it takes me to do a certain task, and then just use that as my pricing and add a little bit on top. But is that the way to do it, or is there a better method?
So there's a couple of different things that you can do when it comes to pricing. We tend to, if you have an hourly rate that you do, we look at that price, and we usually, because you can only charge so many hours in the day, right? You only have so many hours in the day, how many projects you can take on and so forth. And with an hourly rate, what tends to happen is people, your clients that are looking at your pricing, it can turn into comparison. So what we like to do with our clients is talk about packages. And some of our clients come to us with, Kelly, I have a hourly price that I use. It's $50, $200, whatever that might be. And we look at that. That's one piece of it. It's how much time do you spend on a project? How much are you using from an expense standpoint? Like, do you have a virtual assistant, or your platforms that you're using, your CRM, materials? All of those factors go into it, which are hugely important. And with package pricing, the sky is the limit. You can charge whatever you want for that. Just make sure that you're not charging outside of, you're pricing yourself out of your competitors, as well as where you are with your niche and who you're going after and talking to. But package pricing is really where it's at. It's making sure that you're looking at how many times you're spending on the job, expenses. I mean, even gas, like got to mail something out. Like all of those different factors go into it, as well as making sure, with service-based businesses and products, charging tax, because that's another one where people are like, I don't know if I need to charge tax on this because it's service-based. And of course, that depends on where you are in the world or where we are in the US. Different states have different rules. But again, those factors are really important. And with all the things that you're putting into your package, you can put anything into a package, which is really cool. So you can really tailor your services and so forth.
Yeah, all of my pricing is packaged, but when I have a potential client and I tell them what the price is, I feel icky because I think, oh, it's probably too much and they won't be able to afford it. Is it just women that feel like that, or do men have that sort of issue as well about being icky?
You know what? I think that everybody deals with that issue. It's, what's interesting being an entrepreneur, no matter if you've been in it for a year or if you've been in it for 15 plus years, if you're female or male, everybody deals with, am I charging too much? Are they going to pay for that service? Or am I going to get a pushback? And sometimes yes, to all of those things, right? We have people that want the best deal. It doesn't matter what your price is, whether it's $100 or $10,000, they don't care. They're looking for you to negotiate and they're looking for the best deal out there. It's probably not your client. But we also know that, right? When we get into having sales conversations and talking to a client, sometimes we know within 5 minutes of, oh, this is a right fit for me. And sometimes it isn't. So yeah, both men and women, no matter if you're seasoned or unseasoned, we all deal with that. But it's also looking at it and having the mindset and the confidence to be like, yes, I am an expert. You come to me for my talents and my expertise and what I bring to the table. And they're either going to take that price because they want to work with you, or they don't. And that's okay too. A no is not a bad thing. A no actually can be a really great thing for your business. A no to right now can sometimes happen where when they do know your pricing and where they fall with that, they come back at a later time when they can't afford you, which is huge. And another great thing about a no is if they're not a right fit for you from a client standpoint at this point in your business or from a price point, that's the beauty part of having relationships with other vendors where you literally can pass them off and refer them out. And the prospect doesn't forget that. And either does the potential person that you've literally given it to. It's a win-win for everybody. So most people look at no in a bad way, but really it can be a very positive thing for everybody and be a win-win situation.
Yeah, I guess how does an entrepreneur sort of become confident in their pricing, and obviously in themselves, because there's obviously a secret to calculating, your costs, which is you've said at the beginning. But how do they I guess become confident with actually offering that price?
Practice. So practice ripping off the Band-Aid, starting to talk to people about their pricing, whether it's through a referral, a prospect can come in through your website, if you're out networking, if you are doing an event, anything along those lines. Practice makes perfect. And when you have new pricing with your packages, start with your biggest cheerleaders, start with your inner circle of your favorite clients who love and adore you and will give you feedback. You can ask them different questions than you can from somebody that you don't know. And with repeat clients, it might be a service that they need right now, and you're on top of mind where they might not need it, but somebody else may know, so they can refer you out to another person. But practice makes perfect, not hiding behind the computer, physically talking to people on the phone, talking to people in person, in Zoom, however you do your prospecting calls. But confidence is key. And, it's mindset too. I mean, I feel like that's 90% of entrepreneurship, regardless of pricing and packaging or anything you do in your business. It's, owning your mindset and your attitude for the day and putting one foot in front of the other as well. But, for people, what really stuck with me when I was having a confidence issue is people are not paying you, people are investing in themselves. And once I really knew that and took that to heart, that it is an investment, it is an investment in them, whatever service that you're providing anybody, it is an investment in their peace of mind, their time, a service that's going to help them within their business or their brand, anything along those lines. It's about them. It's not about us. Like, yes, we have to deliver the product and create this experience for them. But at the end of the day, they're making the investment in them.
So what are the strategies, I guess, that can help people develop their own pricing structure so that it is actually profitable and they're not they're not undercharging and they're actually making money on what they're doing?
Yeah. So good old fashioned Excel spreadsheets, Google Docs. If you do not have a CRM where you can, a lot of CRMs that people are using for small business, you can do a time tracker, a tracker of your time, which I find to be hugely important. But with spreadsheets, you can literally lay everything out, which small businesses, no matter how big or how small you are, you should be tracking all of your jobs and how much time they take, how much you charge for a service. Was it enough? Was it not enough? And breaking down the expenses of each project. What's going to happen with that is you're going to see what you're selling the most. You're going to see what packages and pricing that you might need to tweak, or that you may have 6 different packages that you have, but only 3 of them are selling. So those are the ones that you take your time and really make sure that you're making a profit. And what kind of profit do you want to make? It's totaling everything up. And at the end of the day, looking at it and going, okay, do I want to make a 50% margin? Do I want to make a 20%? You don't want to break even. It goes back to the old story when I was a catering director a long time ago, where I worked in a country club and the members were like, I don't understand. It's a Saturday night and you don't have an event going on. And I'm like, well, because if I took the job that was coming in, we would have broken even. It's not even worth it. Your time, all the dedication, all the tears, sweat, blood that goes into projects sometimes. You want to make sure that you're not breaking even and you're not losing money. So we all get into the point of sometimes being busy in our businesses and we don't do the work on the front end of that. And it's super important to do that. Plus, you'll be seeing what you're selling all the time, which is really cool. And you can make really cool financial decisions within your business from a promoting standpoint to what you really love doing in your business and so forth. So spreadsheet is the best place to start with those things, as well as if you have a CRM, a time tracker, and listing out your expenses and so forth. So, which is really great because then you can run reports, which is really nice.
Yes, reports are very good. I must say I'm a little bit lazy with my finances. So
no, I know.
Looks good, yeah, but it's because numbers aren't my thing, and so yeah, I just leave that till the end of the financial year and hope for the best, that I've actually made some money for the year.
Yeah, it's funny. Math was my least favorite subject when I was a kid. I despised it. I didn't really like it. And now I live and die by a color-coded calendar and color-coded spreadsheets. And not only does it let you know what's selling, what's working, what's not working in your business to make smart financial decisions, it also, how much do you want to make during the year? How much do you want to make in a quarter? And a lot of business owners that I talk to either use their CRM, but most don't. They just keep it in their head, right? Because we have all this minutia of other things going on in our business. But once you sit down and really invest some time and putting those numbers together, you can see, oh, I'm actually ahead than where I thought I needed to be, or I know I want to make this much in Q4 because, Q4 is an important time of year with all the different things that are happening, holidays. Brands have money to burn because they want to write it off at the end of the year. So again, you can look at it and go, oh, well, I need to land 4 clients to get to this point, or 2 clients, or whatever that might be, versus keeping it in your head or not putting it into a spreadsheet and going, oh, this is actually what I'm going to make, but the year's already over. So, it's just blocking it in your calendar and block an hour off. And, it might take longer than that. But again, being able to physically see physical numbers and know, like, if you need 4 clients, that's way less overwhelming than going, oh my gosh, I haven't booked any clients this month and I need to put money into my business and I have no idea how to do that. So those strategies work really well.
Yeah, I guess, and on top of that, how can business owners, entrepreneurs, streamline their invoicing and payment process so that it's better for them, better for their clients, and also saving them time?
Yeah, so that's one of my favorite questions. It's an important question. When you are out in the field, you're literally, that you're getting ready to land a client, or you are in your first meeting, because sometimes that happens, right? We all love more clients like that. You go to one meeting and you seal the deal. But with that, make sure that you have a payment structure and payment plan set up, ready to go, that you literally can take payment on site. And that can be through PayPal, Stripe, Sprout. The possibilities are endless, as well as you could take your computer and pop open and put everything together on your CRM, which is really nice because you can do the proposal, they can sign it, they can sign the contract, and they literally can pay you on site. The important piece with this is it doesn't make the client put your money in hostage mode, right? Like most people have a problem letting go of their cash. We all go through that, whether we're buying the service or on the other side of that. So being able to run a credit card transaction is huge. They might write you a check, but having some type of system versus them saying a verbal yes to you and leaving and being excited, and then you follow up with them within 24 hours to 48 hours and they've changed their mind. Because what happens is people get very excited and then all of a sudden doubt sometimes sets in and they are like, no, well, maybe I can wait, or maybe I need to land more clients, or maybe I need to do this in my business versus something else. So getting payment on the spot is a huge one. For when you're in the midst of pricing and packaging and looking at what you really truly want to charge, and say you have a new service or you're tweaking a service, that Excel spreadsheet or your CRM is going to be hugely important. Keep a record of it so you can see, because sometimes when you're starting in a new niche or you're starting in a new target market with a package or an hourly rate, whatever you decide to do, it's important what you're pricing in the beginning is probably vastly different 6 months to a year from now. So it's really important to keep track of that so you have record of it to see what works and what doesn't work. Sometimes you can price up, sometimes you might need to tweak it to go a little down, but that's one of the things that works really well. Another thing, when you know that you are selling a package or you have a price that everybody is saying yes to, it's time to get that confidence and look at charging 10 to 20% more. So because everybody's saying yes, it's one of those things where that's a great thing, right? But we get comfortable in our pricing. And sometimes I talk to people and they're like, I haven't changed my pricing in 5 years. Well, we have inflation. What inflation was 5 years ago versus what it is now is two totally different things. So making sure that you're doing that as well. And 10 to 20%, just think about that, like 10 to 20% extra on a package that you know is selling, they're not going to bark at that price or that increase. So it gives you the confidence to test it out and know that if people are seeing an extra 250 on it or whatever that might be, it's not going to persuade them to go another route. They're booking that service because of you and what you bring to the table. So those are some of the big ones that you can use. Another one that I absolutely love is pay in full. As solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, we all wear the title sometimes of stalker of money when we have to chase clients for payments. So a pay in full incentive is great too. And just make sure when you're pricing that out, that if you offer a pay in full incentive, like you're going to take 10% off, that price is increased. So if somebody's going to pay in full, you're still making what you want to make off of that service. So those are some of the top ones that I would suggest.
I think I have to come and get you to do my books. So tell me a little bit more what you do. What Emerson Reese Creative actually do? What do they do for to help their clients?
So Emerson Reese Creative was actually founded right before the pandemic. And yeah, so I've been in the hospitality industry for 23 years. And I absolutely love being a part of this industry and being of service to others. And the company was started to be in corporate events because that's what I was doing. And I absolutely loved watching my clients impact communities and raising funds and all these really cool things. And got the ground running. And literally 6 weeks later, the world changed. So for me, I've always sold and I love selling and I love talking about numbers and all of those things. And people really started reaching out going, Kelly, how do I sell? I don't know how to do this. I know that it's an important part. I'm nervous. I don't like it. Selling makes me feel icky, which is understandable because when we were kids, we think of a door-to-door salesman. And, it's like, I don't want to ever come off that way as salesy. And, for me and my career with building brands and making them millions and millions of dollars, it was about relationships. Like I want to sell to people how they sell, how I am sold to. That's important for me. So Emerson Reese literally shifted and I am a consulting company that offers coaching services for creative and event entrepreneurs. And I just really want to see businesses thrive and come out of the ashes like a phoenix and have sustainable growth and be able to have the confidence to sell and to market their businesses and do really powerful things. And for me, nothing gets me more excited than getting text messages. I have a client that's been with me for a couple of months that was on average making $1,500 a month. And now she's having $14,000 months. And just changing a little bit of shift in mindset and being able to create a community has been really impactful. And I'm grateful for that. So that's a little bit about what we do at Emerson Reese Creative.
That's excellent. That's a bonus, I guess, for people that are looking for those services. So yeah, I'm glad that you offer them because I think us as business owners or entrepreneurs or solopreneurs, we're sometimes a bit challenged with, finding the direction that we need to be going. And it's always good to have someone, that gives you that little push or a little bit of direction to get where you need to be. So
yeah, no, absolutely. We all need it. We all need to have a sense of community. We all need to have a cheerleader and be able to be with other thought leaders, because there is no handbook to entrepreneurship. You start a business and it's like, now what?
Yeah, it's about parenthood, really, isn't it?
Yeah, no, totally.
So I guess, Kelly, where can people find you?
So people can find me at emersonreesecreative.com. It's also Emerson Reese Creative on Instagram and on Facebook. And then LinkedIn, you can find me at Kelly Ann Peck. So that's where I really hang out. But yeah, that's where you can find me.
Perfect. And have you written a book or have a podcast?
I have not written a book, but and I don't have a podcast, but I do speaking engagements where, for me, I really love to be able to get out and be around other entrepreneurs and be able to teach and give knowledge. So I speak both on a national level and international level, and that's how I give back. So that's really important to me.
Excellent. Now, any wise words of wisdom?
Just keep me moving forward. You're exactly in the place that you're supposed to be at the right time, whether your business is booming or you're going through a season of lull. You are in it, and just keep moving forward, because there is greatness that is right around the corner.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, I've been finding that out just lately, so it's nice. All right, Kelly. Well, thank you so much for joining me today and for imparting those really great words of wisdom. It's I've enjoyed our conversation.
Me too. Thank you really so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Kelly. Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Talking with the experts.